Well, hello there. It is 2019. I'm here in the shop and wanted to update everybody a little bit on what has been happening. So for everybody that doesn't know, in approximately October of 2017, I kind of transitioned from doing like 3D printing videos and selling games and systems and stuff on eBay to actually opening this shop up and kind of going into business for myself. This space that I'm renting was pretty rough. It used to be a pawn shop and they had a lot of tools and equipment and stuff, and it was a super ugly like canary yellow color from floor to ceiling and needed a ton of work. So for the first like 2 months that I had the lease for the space, was approximately 90-hour weeks in here, like 15, 16 hours a day, every day of the week, trying to get things ready to open up. Super hectic. Wouldn't do that again. I shouldn't have done it the way I did it in the first place, and I definitely wouldn't do it the same way again. You need more time. You need more than 2 weeks or 2 months to open a business up. It's just not feasible, especially if you're doing most of the stuff yourself. Like October, November was when we officially opened. There were a couple of trip ups there. I tried to do like a soft opening or two, and each time realized like I just wasn't ready. And if you're gonna be open for business, your opportunities to do some of the like the just trivial stuff like painting and maintenance stuff, you just really can't do it when you're open. So we ended up closing down again for another about 2 weeks, and then opening back up for real, and we've been open ever since. So more learning. The underlying theme of all of this is I learned a lot of things in the last 16 months. It's approximately been that. I learned a lot of things the hard way. Which I'm a fan of. I think lessons you learn the hard way are the ones that stick with you the best over time. People can tell you things, and I would recommend getting advice from people that have more experience and understand things better than you. But learning things the hard way, if you can afford to do it financially and emotionally, is definitely a way to learn a lesson one time that you'll never forget. 2018 was more or less a blur to me. Like honestly, I can vividly remember doing 3D printing videos in my basement, and I remember today. Everything in between is, I remember bits and pieces, but working the hours I did, it's all like genuinely a blur. Though like I said, I remember the lessons I learned. I do distinctly remember all of those, all of the painful moments and feeling dumb when I make the wrong decision about things and it costs me money or time or just emotional equity. But I remember all that stuff. But over time, you know, it was slow, steady progress. Made a lot of improvements incrementally as I learned things. One of my big takeaways is, being that we live in such a technology-driven world, anytime you have like data or metrics available to you that can give you like pretty direct feedback about what you're doing, use them as much as you can. Whether it's your business, like I'm sitting here, so on the other side of me, but I'm sitting here with my point of sale, and there are all kinds of like sales and like money related metrics that give you really powerful insights into what's like going on in your business. And the way the world is now with technology, like those sort of things are all around us, and it's just really good guidance to give you an idea of like what you should and shouldn't be doing based on the performance of the things you've already done. So that has, we're right off Main Street, so fire trucks and ambulances, any emergency response vehicle that goes from one spot in town to another passes our business. So you might hear that a couple times over the course of this video. But yeah, metrics are super powerful. I remember hearing people talk about them in the past and didn't really think much about it, but anytime you have them available to you, like absolutely take a look at them and try to learn as much as you can, because there's just nothing else that really compares to the level of insight that they can give you in whatever you're doing. One of my other takeaways from the last year and a half is get help. Get help from people. Let people help you. Even someone like me who doesn't have that big of a social circle, like in my immediate area, even I had access to numerous people that were willing to help me out with stuff, whether it was doing physical labor or some more tedious stuff like paperwork and bookwork or research or stuff like that. Make sure you utilize friendly helping hands that are willing to, bear some of the burden that you're dealing with in life. It really, really makes a huge difference. And again, I kind of feel dumb for resisting it. I tend to just want to do things myself. I don't know whether it's like a control thing or just I don't know what it is. I don't know why I resist it, but I even now I still do. I still try to do everything myself if possible. Sometimes if it's not possible. But yeah, overall the business has been, I think, a good decision. I still am on the fence. It was just such a huge change in my life. Right about the time the business opened, my son was born, which is our second child. So we were moving from 1 to 2 children and had a new business opening up. So it was a huge shift in the amount of responsibility that we had, and just the amount of things that we were required to do with when I say we, I mean my wife and I. It was a huge increase in the amount of things we had to do on a daily basis. So my timing probably wasn't ideal. I wouldn't, if you're looking at opening a business, I would not do it as you're bringing a child into the world. That is really, really complicating things, and it's gonna stretch yourself thin, cause a lot more stress than you need to. Like I personally, so I guess since I haven't made any videos, I haven't really communicated any of that to anyone except my immediate social circle, but I have dealt with some medical issues related to stress. Burning the candle at both ends is a saying that exists, and you generally don't want to do that. You only have so much candle, so if you burn it at both ends, you'll soon not be left with any. And it's not super great. The human body doesn't respond that well to stress, so I would recommend controlling your stress levels and keeping them low if possible. Most of that's luckily behind me now. Some of it I still have some issues with, a couple minor medical problems, but overall everything's good. I'm relatively healthy. I feel like I'm looking in my monitor now, I feel like I look 5 years older than I did a year ago. A lot more gray hair, a lot less hair. I know I've always been a little light on top, but I feel like I'm even lighter on top now, which is kind of funny. Kind of is what it is, but I can definitely see it when I record stuff like this. I have to look at my stupid face whenever I'm editing videos and stuff, and it makes you look at yourself in a way you wouldn't normally, just glancing in the mirror while you're brushing your teeth and stuff in the morning. So I have noticed that. That's another takeaway. I am older. I am in worse shape and I look older. So in this video, more directly towards the audience of this channel, I do have a few things to say. I really, really want to thank everyone who messaged me or reached out or has commented on some of the videos that I had uploaded from the past. I really, really appreciate all of the positive comments, all the supportive messages and stuff people have sent. There's nothing that really feels quite the same as having someone message you and ask where you're at and ask if you're going to put a new video out or do another live stream or something like that. It's really great to know that, even if it's only a handful of people. I know my channel wasn't that big and I didn't really impact that many people generally, let alone in the 3D printing community. it's really, really super cool to know that there were people that felt my absence and really noticed, and you know, we're somewhat impacted, even if it's only like a trivial amount. We're somewhat impacted by me stopping the content that I was making. Like it's very humbling to know that that had any impact on people. So a million thanks to everybody that messaged me, or like I said, watched any of the videos or commented. I had a shocking number of people, I was gonna say find me on Facebook. I guess it's linked in most of the videos, so not super amazing. But it kind of shocked me how many people would message me even like a full year later. Like I've received messages this week, like just this week, of people like wondering where I'm at, if I'm okay, if I'm going to be back to YouTube, if I'm still 3D printing, if I'm gonna be making more content. It's amazing to me. It's amazing the power the internet has to connect people, and like people that I'm never going to meet in person, like I'm able to communicate with and just have a connection with that is really kind of like awe-inspiring. It's really great. I'm stuttering over myself here, but I think you get what I'm saying. It's pretty amazing. YouTube and all the like internet social media platforms, when people aren't just bickering and arguing and sharing their political views, they're pretty amazing. It's pretty great. On the 3D printing front, I am sad to say, I can't move the camera, but my MK2 is sitting over there in the shop. The ANET is sitting over here. I have the Trinus in the back room that I have printed a little bit on. It's back there set up. I have the Wanhao duplicator that I ended up getting is at my house. And some of you that follow me on social media may recall that I posted an image of a Wanhao, I think it was a D5 resin printer. I did buy one, and I won't say too much about it here. I no longer have it, and I want to address that in a video, like my little journey with that, and why I don't have it anymore. But I am sad to say I don't own a resin printer. We're not going to be seeing much resin printing content on this channel at the moment. Who knows what the future holds, but for now, don't have it. Like I was mentioning, I have all my printers here. I have done very, very little 3D printing in the last year and a half, unfortunately. I have done some. You can't really see them in this shot, but the glass display cases behind me, I did have to 3D print some things to improve the design of them and fix some problems they had, which was fantastic. I don't really know how I would have done that otherwise. There's all kinds of terrain and stuff here that we use for tabletop games and that I let people use for RPGs that has been 3D printed. And I can't think of too much else. A lot of, like, being that my life shifted a little bit, a lot of the printing I did is very like practical utilitarian stuff, which is really, I think it's where machines like this shine, is when a situation arises and you need a very specific like mechanical part of some kind or something to fix something or solve a problem, and you can just go into, you know, really simple 3D modeling programs and spit out a piece in like 15 or 20 minutes and solve a problem that if you had to deal with it by other means would be very, very difficult and or expensive. The MK3, I would say, has damn near paid for itself again just in utility in the last year and a half, like having it available to make things I need, whether it's little adapters for like camera gear or like this. I would have, to fix these cases, I would have had to either make things out of wood, which would have been super time consuming and a pain, or get things machined, which would have been relatively expensive. And again, like way more time consuming to have to model some things and then get a third party to machine them or manufacture them or whatever. There's a ton of power there. Like, I still really do have a lot of respect for 3D printers and just the ability they have to help us solve problems. I'm just like everybody else. I love making knickknacks and cool little gadgets and stuff that really has no practical value in my life, but you really start to appreciate the power of this technology when when you have problems and you have this nifty little piece of machinery that can just solve them for you. It's super, super amazing to me. Really, really cool stuff. As far as the future of this channel, I'm not really sure. I have been recently getting some gear switched around, so it's a little bit easier for me to record videos now. And you probably noticed in this video, the quality of both the video and the audio has probably improved. I'm a little bit less of a noob when it comes to the production process. Like the lighting, I think, is a little bit better in this video, which is 90% of the battle. If you're shooting videos yourself, get your lighting dialed in. It's so much more important than any other piece of equipment. To just have a couple light bulbs, like something as simple as that, put in the right place at the right intensity, makes such a huge difference when you're trying to get decent video recordings. Audio is another little bit different of a battle, but also super important. You don't really have to spend a lot of money. Just make sure you get the fundamentals right and you'll be good to go. I'll probably be talking about some of that in the near future, because I would say, like, of the questions I've gotten asked over the last year and a half since I've made videos, I would say 40 to 60% of them, probably over half, have been about production, about like how to do some of this stuff yourself. And I really, like, I'm a technological nerd when it comes to like camera and audio gear and basically anything that plugs in or runs off batteries. Like I'm super into that stuff. So I'm probably going to be making some tutorials on how to do some of this stuff, because I really do have a passion for it. Really, really enjoy doing it. So I'm probably going to do some of that. As far as 3D printing videos, there are some that I've wanted to make since before I stopped doing videos. I've just never gotten around to it. And some of the things I really still haven't seen many people touch on in the community, which is promising. It means there's still a little bit of a niche there for me to occupy. I also really miss streaming. I know there were always mixed feelings amongst viewers of the Nillabean channel about the live streams. Some people hated how long they were. Some people thought they were the greatest thing ever. Some people just wanted the 3 to 5 minute tutorial videos that gave you a little bit of insight in how to do specific things. And I enjoyed doing all of it. I really did. But I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I'm trying to free up more time. Like I said, when the shop first opened, we were talking like 90-hour weeks on average was pretty average for me. I'm down to about 60. I probably work about 60 hours a week now, which is feels like a lot less. I know it's still a lot, but it feels like a lot less given where I started out with the shop. But I'm really trying to free some more time up so I have the opportunity to first and foremost spend time with my family. That's definitely priority number one. And then priority number two is making videos. Like I really do really enjoy doing it. I've spent we won't talk about that right now, how much I've spent on camera gear and stuff. That's a topic for another day, but it's a non-trivial amount. I really do. I love the technologies that are available. I love stuff. Love technology. But I need to use it. It's kind of pointless to own all this stuff and not use it, especially when I do enjoy making videos and stuff. I do like it. I've said that enough. I'm not going to say that again. All right, last time. I'm going to say it one last time and then not say it again. I think you all get it. I like making videos. I'm done. I'm not going to say it again. So yeah, I need to do it. Just like I forced the shop to exist. It didn't really come about that organically. Like I just woke up one day. It is something I had been thinking about, and I was like, I'm doing this. I don't really have the resources available to do it, but I'm gonna make it happen. And if I can do it with something on this scale, I think I can get my stuff together and get some videos made. So I'm really gonna make an effort to do that in the future here. There's going to be at least one that I record today, hopefully, if all goes well. Though we do open soon, so I'm running out of time a little bit. But yeah, I don't want to make any promises. I have a really bad habit of doing that. I've done it so many times in the past. I try to like set a schedule and kind of obligate myself to put out, you know, this or that by this or that date, and I'm not doing that. There's no promises other than that I'm trying. I'm going to try. I really do want to. I almost did it. I'm not doing it again. You guys, you know. But yeah, trying. I'm going to try. So I've already rambled like a ton. Going to try to do some 3D printing stuff. Going to do some production how-tos and tutorials and a little bit of insight into what goes on behind the scenes when you're making some content for videos and audio and all that stuff. And the live streams, I don't really know. I just don't know. I would love to do it. I know some of you that are probably going to watch this video participate in the Friday 3D printing community hangout streams that happen every other Friday. They were happening every other Friday last time I checked, though it's been a long time since I checked. I think if I do any streaming, it'll probably be participating in some of those maybe. I don't really have the option of doing the super fun, casual 4 hours in the afternoon kind of like hangout streams, but really like to do something. I see my helpers here. So I'm gonna wrap this up. So hopefully you'll see something from me soon. Appreciate everybody like watching and saying nice things and all that. And to everybody that says not so nice things, I have a video about that coming. Hopefully that'll be fun, but I'll see you all later.